Okay, so after wasting 3 minutes trying to get my setup working, welcome to another Mini-Mark video. This week, we are going to be doing a sealed event because I'm going to a Grand Prix next weekend, and I need to practice sealed because that's the format. For those of you who don't know, there's going to be a Grand Prix in Montreal, and I'm going to be there. So if you want to meet me, tough because, you're probably all creepy. I'm kidding. Not really. Yeah, really. So let's see what we got. Well, I forgot to do what I always do, which is to sort by rarity to start and see what we opened. That's awesome. So we got the Temple of Enlightenment, which is really good. Hammer, which is fine. Faded Return, which is meh. Artisan, which is meh. And Oracle of Bones, which is the 3-1 with haste. That can become a 5-3. Yeah, that's pretty good. All of our multicolor cards were fine. Two Chronicle of Heroes makes me kind of want to try to go into that because it's, 3/3s for 3 that can draw a card. That's really good. Sort by color. Alright, so let's bring in cards that we know are good and get rid of the rest. So that's a no. You're in. You're in. Yep. Nope. Nope. And that's good. Yep, yep. That's fine. Those are fine. Probably not if I can help it. Double Return Phalanx makes me feel like, ooh, wow, we have a lot of really good early game. Wow. And Double Servant. Okay, we might be playing black. And a gray. Okay, yeah, we are probably in black. That card's maybe good. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'll just put in everything that I might even end up playing. Maybe Faded Return. I don't know. It just feels like there's gonna be times it's just never gonna get cast in a deck. Coordinated Assault's really good. I don't like Spark Jolt. You'll get in the deck. You guys can probably get in. Bolt is good. Those guys aren't good in the Oracle, so we're probably not playing our red. It looks pretty weak. Mortal's Resolve. Defend the Hearth. You're in. Whoops, you're in. Still not a big fan of the Oathsworns, but they're fine. Yeah, those are good. And then we have that. So, I'll put in those just because. And alright. So those are the cards we're not playing. And then we have a land for fixing, if we decide to do fixing. So it looks like our black is really strong. We have Gray Merchants, Disciples, Gorgons, multiple Freakus Cures for the early game, and Return Phalanxes. So let's see how we do with blue. Yeah, let's see what the blue-black deck looks like. I am curious, because it looks like it could be incredibly powerful. Yeah, so we can just cut those two, fairly easily. And look at this. That's a cut. We probably don't need the two Chimeras if we're going to be doing this. We can probably even bring in the Triad off the Temple. Is there anything else that's like super good in... I mean, there are some pretty powerful cards in white that we have, but we don't... There's not a lot of really powerful cards, but we'll look at that later, I guess. Do you have a lot of stuff that can target our own stuff? Not really. So we can probably cut the Artisan then. We're going to send the 24 playables. I guess the cut then at that point is just the Necrobite. And we just play like super defensive, grind you out style. The issue with that is we don't really have like a... I guess we have this as a finisher. That's probably fine. We just slam this at one point, and then we can just attack for the win. Beat down with our Chorus of Tides for a little bit. That seems fine. All right, so this is one of the decks. I think it's good. Uh, save as Theros block blue black. Yeah, we know. All right. So let's do color sort then. We'll take this stuff out. And then, because I do want to look at the white green, because white has a lot of really powerful cards. Let's see. Like we have the Eidolon, which is like really powerful. Skyguard, Ghostblade Eidolon, which is just like super difficult to deal with. We don't have anything else to manipulate it with though, the Eidolon, so if it falls off, it just becomes pretty low value. Um, that's probably fine. Two ways of dealing with enchantments and artifacts, which is something I like having. Um, the Demolock, which is pretty good. Double Snake, so like we can gain a bunch of life back if we lose something, if we lose early. Then we have this just the grind out advantage, and then we can glimpse for the win. Again, we have a temple, so if we want to like splash for something in blue, we can. But at the same time, like I would be splashing what, like a Voyage's End, probably. Yeah, probably just a Voyage's End. Which I think this deck is probably fair on its own. I think it's a decent build. A lot of 3 drops. The issue is I'm playing 2 Oathsworns with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways of. I should put this over here. 5 ways of targeting it, unless I count. I guess we have an emissary too. All right, so like 7 ways of targeting it, which is good, but this is one of those cards you kind of want to turn 4, throw something on it, or do something with it, because then it, you're basically paying for it. Because a 1/1 for 3 is super bad. A 3/3 for 3 is on curve in green, but you're paying double green, so you'd want it to be a little bit better even. And then so you basically have to target it twice to get any value out of it. And because I have 2 of them, there is going to be times when I draw both of them, and I'm just not going to have the ability to suit both of them up, and it's going to just not be good. I also have the Battle Cattle, which is a 3/3 for 5, which is bad. You hit it once, then it's a 6/6 for 5, which is decent in green. It's above average. It's not, broken, but it's good. And then the next time you target it, it just, it becomes impossible to deal with. Like Dream Curve would be Battle Cattle into Eidolon into Emissary, at which point your opponent scoops because they just die. Or even just Eidolon up and then tap his guys during your attack step, so that way you already have him tapped. Then you can target him with that. Neat little interaction there for those of you who haven't seen it before. The red looks just. The cards in red are good. It's. Well, okay, not all of them, but some of the cards are pretty good. Like, I like the Coordinated Assault. I'm a big fan of Skull Cleaver and Bolt, and Hammer's even pretty good. Oracle's good. The issue is we just have nothing to back it up with. Our Chroniclers, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 5, 6, 7-ish. Call it like 5, I guess. Got 5 things I can get counters on them. We don't have anything like that puts counters on stuff. So our Chroniclers are probably just going to be 3/3s that draw a card 20% of the time. Which is, still pretty good for 3 mana. Alright, well, we'll save this. Why do you keep going to net decks? Or why aren't you on net decks, rather? Alright, so this is white-green. I know. Alright, so let's files by color. Let's put all this back. And then just move you over here. So I guess we could look at like green black deck. Because one of the big issues with the white-green deck was or the white-black deck was the green. One of the big issues with the blue-black deck was it didn't really have a finisher. So let's look at white-black for fun. I didn't hide. No. All right. Let's put these guys in. Thing I like about the white-black deck is we can splash for these. Whoops. Convert mana cost. Thank you. We'll cut those immediately. Probably the Necrobite as well. Because we have a little bit of fixing with that. And I feel like the Shipwreck Singer and a Voyage's Ender both have such a high level of value that you get out of them that you kind of want them if you can get them. Do we have a lot of things that are humans? I don't think we need the Pegasus. It's not going to be picking anything up and running down the field with it, except for maybe a Disciple, or yeah, that's it. Okay. A lot of our permanents are black, and a good amount of them near the top end have double black, which means I think Sanguimancy can probably be good. Let us draw 3 or 4 cards at a clip. It starts off incredibly defensive with, whoops, you're a creature. Wow, double Freaka's Cure and a Voyage's End. Then you can, drop a Servant and just block all day and gain a little bit of life back. It has Asphyxiate and Divine Verdict, which are both good. And then it has, ways of finishing the game, like with the Glimpse. And it can, get guys out of the way with that. It still feels really grindy. And it doesn't have, the flyers in as high of an amount. But that said, I think I like this deck better. This deck has the double blue and then the double blue for the counter spells. And I think that takes a little bit away from it because it makes it less likely to be able to work as a deck. I'd like to have one more cut, honestly. I could probably... Oh, the Triad should be in this deck. Yeah, I definitely need to find a cut then. I'd like to find another cut after that for, Traveler's Amulet. So I could run, a blue source as well. So for these guys. I mean, they're just 2 incredibly powerful cards. I think I want to run this deck, actually. I think I like it better than the one with the Chorus and the Archetype. I think. Actually, I'm not getting any value out of the Skyguard, really, am I? Although I do have Eidolon and Emissary, too. Verdict is down here. What am I doing? God, you guys are probably screaming at your screens. What is this fool doing? Yeah, the Skyguard's not going to get super good value in the early game, but if I get, a Eidolon on it, then it's paid for itself. If I can get, a Ghostblade or Hopeful on it, it's good. Try to Fates can do some work. Yeah, I think I want to go with this deck. And if I don't like it, I can always switch it for the blue-black version. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to run the blue-black version. I'm going to splash white. Yeah, that seems like a better choice. We'll run the blue-black, and we'll splash for Ghostblade Eidolon and the Triad. No, and the Glimpse. That way I get... Yeah. No, I already have a finisher. I don't need the Glimpse. We're just tweaking at the end here, so I'm not worried about the 2 minutes left. Do I want an Eidolon maybe? Or a Divine Verdict? If I do take that, what am I cutting? This is also a good question I should be considering. I mean, this card's just insane. You throw it on a Chorus of the Tides when they're not looking, and they like don't have a way of dealing with it because they're expecting to just be able to deal. All right, so we're super defensive in the early game, like just big toughnesses all over the place, and then we just start being down with flyers and dealing with their hand and taking chunks of life off of them. I don't think we need the white. I think I'll just run this for like the scry value. Yeah, I don't think we need the white. As powerful as this card is, and like Verdict and Eidolon is, I think this is just a better build. It gets us more consistently on our tempo spells, and we get 2 Chorus of Tides and the archetype. Yeah, let's run this. All right. What does Magic Online say? 10-7, I'm going to go 9-8. I'm going to cut an island and bring in the temple. We definitely need double black, but we also kind of want to have double blue at times. That's a lie. Let's add another swamp. Yeah, I think 10-7 is the way to go, now that I think about it. We can play Nullifies in the late game and just straight counter whatever they're doing, basically, in this format. Alright. Well, there's the deck. Hopefully I picked the right one. I think this is the most powerful build, although the black-white one might be better, but I don't know. But we're about to go into game 1, so